What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another daily Manchester City transfer update. Before I do crack on with today's update, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. I'm going to keep you guys up to date every single day with all the latest City transfer news here on YouTube. So if you haven't already, do subscribe now. Less than 200 subs away from my aim of 46,000 subscribers. Also, don't forget social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. We're aiming for 300 likes on today's video, and do get your thoughts as well in the comments below. Finally, ahead of the Premier League season coming up from next weekend, I have got my Premier League Fantasy League rolling for you guys. If you want to go and check it out, links and details there in the description. It's simply on the Premier League website or the Premier League app. You just go in the fantasy section, you can click join league, and my code to join the JSGC league is XXSVL5. A big thank you to everybody that has joined so far, so do go and check that out. Links and details, they are in the description. So we've got no contract news to speak about in today's video. We've got no ins to speak about. It's all about the outs, and it has to be all about the outs really for Manchester City because we've got too many players. So firstly, we've got the very latest on Claudio Echeverri, and Simon Mullock has said now that Vita Hayes has signed for Girona for the season on loan, they're now turning their attention to try and secure Claudio Echeverri on a season-long loan from Manchester City. We've been speaking about this now for the last couple of weeks about AS Roma being keen, but they want a purchase option including on this. They had a bid rejected, which included an obligation to buy worth £28.65 million, with Man City having a buyback clause set at just under £35 million. Claudio Echeverri's keen on taking a loan in the Premier League. Manchester City not so keen on that happening. They only want him to go to Girona and stay as part of the City Football Group on a straight loan, and Girona now working hard to try and make that happen. They've also said that Girona are working on trying to bring in Sverre Nypan from Manchester City as well. So I find it real interesting that Vita Hayes, Claudio Echeverri and Sverre Nypan, there's a good chance that they could all be on loan playing for Girona at the same club that Manchester City have sent them to. In particular, I find this interesting because Manchester City do owe Olympique Lyonnais, Lyon over in France. We owe them a loan as per the Ryan Cherky deal. So obviously these are going to be the senior first team players that Manchester City are going to loan out, who are around their first team squad, unless they're going to go for a really experienced player who we don't know about right now, who potentially is going to leave on loan. I don't know who Lyon are going to take from Manchester City, and just what the clauses are in terms of this loan. About, is it time barred? Does it have to be done this summer, or can it be done whenever? What are the clauses like as part of the potential loan transfer? Yeah, all a bit strange and all a bit confusing, so odd. I'll keep my eyes and ears open for that one though. Anyway, moving on, we've got the latest on James McAtee, and Simon Mullock has said that Manchester City are wanting north of £40 million for James McAtee, and because of that it has put Eintracht Frankfurt off wanting to make a move for James McAtee from Manchester City. They did send out an inquiry, which Manchester City said that they're only interested in offers over £40 million that include a sell-on fee and a buyback clause. Frankfurt had told Manchester City that they were happy to pay £25 million. Manchester City have said they've already rejected a bid from Nottingham Forest worth £25 million. So because of that, it's not going to happen for Eintracht Frankfurt to sign James McAtee from Manchester City this summer. So they have now seemingly pulled out of the race. Nottingham Forest are expected to make a second offer to Manchester City very soon. Some rumours have been suggesting that that second offer could well be accepted by Manchester City, but I'm waiting for further clarification on this, including what that transfer offer will be, and what the clauses are going to look like. With James McAtee, it's pretty simple. It can't be a loan because he's got less than 1 year left on his contract, so it's going to have to be a permanent transfer this summer. And Simon Mullock has said that whilst Nottingham Forest are seemingly closing in on James McAtee, Tottenham Hotspur are keeping an eye on James McAtee as well, in particular after James Maddison's ACL injury keeping him out for a prolonged period of time. So they're now keeping an eye on James McAtee, and they want to see what's going to happen with that. If Nottingham Forest or Spurs or anybody else wants to sign James McAtee, then Manchester City wanting a big number with a sell-on fee and buyback clause including. I am expecting further developments on this in the next week or so. Now moving on well, we've finally got a Kalvin Phillips update, so I presume that he's closing in on full fitness. He's expected at some point this month to be back to full fitness, and he is expected to leave City before transfer deadline day. And because he's got 3 years left on his contract, we're not going to get a permanent sale, and he's on over £100,000 a week at Manchester City. It does mean he's going to go down the loan route, and it'll be a loan somewhere else. Now, Simon Mullock, giving lots of updates in today's transfer update, has said that Leeds United want to try and sign Kalvin Phillips on loan from Manchester City. Of course, Man City brought Kalvin Phillips in from Leeds United. When we brought him in, we paid over £40 million. Leeds United not keen on a permanent transfer this summer. They do want to go down the loan route. I presume they have some reservations about his fitness record, his injuries, and also how he performed at Ipswich Town in the Premier League last season. So Leeds United don't want to take the risk of a permanent transfer and instead keen on a loan transfer, but they are struggling to afford his wages, which is, as I said, over £100,000 a week. I think it's around £120,000 a week in his wages, which Leeds simply cannot afford. And I think as Kalvin Phillips loves Leeds United, I reckon that if Leeds United were willing to put in some kind of good purchase option towards this deal, Manchester City may be tempted to maybe just dip in and pay some of Kalvin Phillips' wages, which is what we've done in previous loan transfers, to ensure that he does end up leaving the club. But it's all a bit of a sorry situation when it comes to Kalvin Phillips. And what's crazy here is he's got 3 years left on his City contract, and once this loan that City secure at some point this month for Kalvin Phillips comes to an end next summer, he's still going to have another 2 years left. 2028 in June is when his contract does expire, and this I think has been maybe up there as one of the worst bits of business that Manchester City have ever done in the transfer market, certainly in the last few years of anything that springs to mind, because it's just all-round a transfer that City have paid a good amount of money for, over £40 million. We're not going to get any transfer fee, let's face it. It's going to be a loan until the expiry of his contract in June of 2028, so all we're going to get is small loan fees being paid to Manchester City, and year on year we have to contribute to his wage, so he can sit on other teams' benches, pick up injuries, and it's just a mess, absolute mess. Anyway, enough about Kalvin Phillips. Moving on, we've got the very latest on Jack Grealish, and Paul Joyce, very reliable with information over on Merseyside, including information for Liverpool and Everton, has said that Manchester City have told Jack Grealish that he isn't needed by the club anymore. Because of that, obviously we already know he's been told by Manchester City to find a new club this summer, and Everton are the team right now that are most interested in signing Jack Grealish and are intensifying their interest in trying to bring Jack Grealish in. I'm not entirely sure about how they're going to make his £300,000 a week wages work, as Manchester City have said that they do want all of his wages covering. Everton's highest earners are at £130,000, £140,000 a week, so they're going to be struggling to afford half of Jack Grealish's wage without breaking their own wage structure, which potentially does upset their other players. And because Jack Grealish still has 2 years left on his City contract, 1 year once his loan comes up next summer, if Everton were interested in making it a permanent transfer, then Jack Grealish is obviously going to want more contributions from Manchester City towards his wages, and it's here about finding the right balance between playing time, a financial package, and also ensuring that, because Jack Grealish wants to be on the plane going to the World Cup, that he's going to a club that's going to give him plenty of opportunities for him to develop and give him the best chance of going to the World Cup with England. So it's all about how do you make this transfer work, and this is where the difficult hurdle is, about finding that agreement that Everton are happy with, Manchester City are happy with, and Jack Grealish is happy with as well. If it was me, I would know that Man City are going to be paying more than likely half of Jack Grealish's wages for the upcoming season. More than likely means that City are going to get probably no loan fee or a small loan fee, so I've been looking for some guarantees here when it comes to Jack Grealish's future, because after all, I don't see the point of Man City getting nothing in return. We're basically paying £150,000 a week for Jack Grealish not to play for us and to benefit Everton instead. Doesn't make much sense to do that, so the way that Everton could make it work is to chuck in some kind of purchase option, a good affordable purchase option that Man City may just say, actually, we will will accept that transfer offer. So we'll see what does happen with regards to that. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed today that Everton and Manchester City are now in contact with each other and are discussing a loan deal. Jack Grealish has told Manchester City and told Everton that he is keen on making that transfer to Everton on loan for the upcoming season. It does mean that Jack Grealish wouldn't have to find a new place to live like he would if he had to make a move. Let's say, for example, Newcastle or Spurs in the Premier League came in, who were linked earlier in the window. He'd have to relocate. Napoli came in, or a Turkish club came in, which has already happened in this transfer window again. Jack Grealish should have to relocate, but because Manchester and Merseyside are within an hour of each other, it's a pretty easy commute, in particular when you're on as much money as what Jack Grealish is, that he doesn't have to relocate, so he doesn't have to basically unsettle himself. He can just remain as he is. The only thing that's going to be different is his place of work. It's not going to be in Manchester with Manchester City. It's going to be in Liverpool and working with Everton instead. So that has been today's transfer update. If you did enjoy this video, please do leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. Do get your thoughts as well in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. It is free to subscribe. I'm going to keep you guys up to date every single day here on YouTube with all the latest City transfer news. You don't want to miss a thing, so do subscribe. Social media links are in the description too if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. Remember, come and join me on the Premier League Fantasy League, JSGC League. Links and details there in the description. Come and join me on there. That would be much appreciated. And I will see you guys religiously tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. I did miss the Manchester City away match for our pre-season friendly against Palermo. I've managed to catch the highlights. There's obviously some room for improvement for Manchester City, but a clean sheet, 3 goals. Tajani Reinders looking like he's in scintillating form. Looks like a high-quality signing. Erling Haaland grabbing a goal. There's plenty of positives, plenty to be optimistic for, and I can't wait for the Premier League season to get rolling. And of course, I will have all my regular, normal Premier League content coming up for you guys over the next week or so as we build up towards the Premier League opener for Manchester City next weekend as we take on Wolverhampton Wanderers away from home. So I'll see you for that as well. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.